Welcome to the Darkstream, VoxDay, voxday.net, and unauthorized.tv. Waiting here to see if the DLive crew is functioning. I'm told the audio and video are good there. I've already got 8, 10, 11 people on unauthorized chat, so we are rolling. Just fired up some coffee. And this is going to be focused on something that is not possibly of interest to everybody, but it should be. It won't be, but it should be. And, it's something that probably some people will not unreasonably regard as tilting at windmills, attempting to do the impossible, etc., etc. But if there's one thing that we know about the community, it's that we can do a lot more, not only than other people think we can, but we can do a lot more than we even imagine ourselves. And it's really interesting. There's an article today that I posted a link to on the blog, and it was a reasonably sizable tech company talking about how they had broken away from the cloud and how that was really beneficial to them. And we found exactly the same thing. Unauthorized started on the cloud. We took a lot of criticism for that, even though we were working on, getting our own stuff up. Now, everything we do, from the streaming software to the site, to the code and all that, is stuff that the community has done itself. And so this is important because not only has it freed us from control and influence of the converged tech world, but it's given us skills, and it's given us knowledge, and it's given us confidence that we wouldn't have otherwise. If you look, and we haven't made the actual formal announcement yet, but if you look at the new Archaven, the new ArcTunes, and you see how much bigger and better it already is, a lot of people didn't realize, if you look up there at the upper right corner, there's 4,948 episodes on ArcTunes. A lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people didn't know how to find it. Now we've got things so that they're a lot easier to find. There's the site's much more interactive. And believe it or not, this has actually been very, very important in some of the meetings that I've been having recently, because what we've been able to do with this is prove that we can do larger scale projects than they would naturally assume. And so sometimes doing projects and completing projects can have ramifications that go very, very far beyond the scope of the actual project itself. So anyhow, I had some meetings today, or not today, I had some meetings this week, and they were really interesting. I learned that the situation with regards to Amazon is actually much worse than I had imagined. That things are considerably more advanced than I had assumed or concluded. And remember, I'm supposedly well out on the conspiracy theory tinfoil hat edge with regards to this stuff. Most of the authors don't believe what I've been saying. They're ignoring the evidence that's right before them. And so that's why this was kind of fascinating. I'm going to share with you something that is a couple highlights from a presentation that I made to some executives from a very large European company that is deeply concerned about the direction that Amazon's been taking with regards to books. So let me show this to you. So this was the title addressing the Amazon threat. And I thought that I was going to have to explain what the problem was. I thought that I was going to have to convince them, just like with the authors. I thought I was going to have to convince them that there's a problem. And so I showed them a lot of statistics related to the audio or the ebook market. And this in particular was the most important thing. Here's the background data, and then I'll show you the important chart. In 2011, the ebook market was 2.31 billion. In 2013, it was estimated that the ebook market was projected to reach 8.7 billion in 2018. So it's supposed to grow a lot. Amazon launched Kindle Unlimited in July 2014. And according to a professional group that studies this kind of stuff, ebook revenue has declined every year since. To the point that last year, 2022, the ebook market was reported to be 2.0 billion. We can safely expect that it's going to be even lower in 2023. If you want to know why Castalia is not on Amazon, that's why. Our sales have become trivial there. We had our best month ever in November. So Amazon has become increasingly unimportant to us because we never trusted it in the first place. But all those authors, all those publishing houses that believed that they had no choice but to be active on Amazon are actively suffering, and their sales are falling steadily, methodically, and without turning around. They're not going to turn around. So this was the important one. Ebook revenues versus lost ebook sales 2011 to 2022. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the details, but believe me, this is all fully backed up by data provided by Amazon itself, except for the blue lines is that total ebook revenue. And as you can see, it's declined every year from 2014. I have a question here from, what is Kindle Unlimited? See, this is what's amazing. All this stuff is happening and some people don't even know what it is. Kindle Unlimited is essentially all you can eat. Kindle Unlimited is where instead of buying a book, then all you do is you pay them $11.99 a month and you can download for free everything. There are literally hundreds, tens of millions of books available in Kindle Unlimited. Now, not everything is there. Castalia is not there. A lot of stuff from major publishers aren't there, but that's where all the self-published books are. Increasingly, that's where the AI-assisted books are. So it's a buffet. You pay, you enter, and you can just read anything you want. And so Raging Zoomer asks a good question. What do the orange bars represent? The orange bars, I thought they were red, but granted, I'm orange-green colorblind. Maybe they're not. Anyhow, the orange-red bars represent the amount of sales that have been lost due to Kindle Unlimited. When people pay for Kindle Unlimited, they generally stop paying for books. Maybe they'll buy 1 or 2 books where they used to buy 10 or 20. They do most of their reading via Kindle Unlimited on their Kindle. And so it's easy to calculate this number because every month Amazon announces the Global Fund, which is how much money is distributed to the authors. Again, I won't bore you with the details, but on average, a full Kindle book read is worth about 1/5 of, if you do the math, each dollar that goes out to an author through Kindle Unlimited represents $5 that are no longer a book sale. Microsoft did this in the video game space. Yeah, Spotify also did it in the music industry. So, that's why artists are constantly touring. That's why tour tickets are so expensive, because musicians don't make the money the way that they used to. And so, what's interesting is that if you can display the chart a different way, but the lost ebook sales now exceed the amount of actual ebook revenues. I mean, this may sound incredible, but it's true. Now here's the next thing that's coming. 84% of romance new release audiobooks are KDP Virtual Voice. 69% of thriller and suspense new release audiobooks are KDP Virtual Voice. Based on the historical example of the ebook market, KDP Virtual Voice Kindle Select titles will rapidly replace 80% of all audiobook sales. So what we're talking about there, here's the thing, and this is me speaking as a publisher. It's expensive to produce an audiobook. It can easily cost $5,000, $10,000, even more. And so you have to sell a lot of them to make it worth it. So which books do? You do your best-selling books. You do the books that are capable of selling enough copies to make it worth it to produce them. So this is an area that has been protected from Amazon's depredations. But now that Amazon is releasing Virtual Voice audiobooks, what Amazon can do, and is doing actively, is converting all of that Kindle Unlimited crap and making audiobooks out of it. And so what we can anticipate is that Kindle Unlimited is going to become Audible Unlimited. And, successful authors like Nick Cole and Larry Correia, they successfully retreated from being best-selling ebook authors to being best-selling audiobook authors. You may recall that when John Delarose and Larry Correia were getting into a bit of an online kerfluffle, one of the things that I pointed out was that Chuck Dixon's new paperback was selling right up there with Larry Correia's new book. And the response from the Larry Correia fans was, well, that may be true, and maybe the Kindle numbers aren't very good for the ebook, but look at the audiobook. The audiobook's one of the best-selling audiobooks on Audible. And that's true. And that's great. And that's not going to happen anymore. Because the same way that the Kindle Unlimited titles took over all the bestseller lists, and they have, if you look on the bestseller list, and other people have studied this and put out the data, but most of the books are now Kindle Select, because it's easier to pay your $12 a month, download whatever you want. Maybe you can't get some of the authors that you'd like, but who really cares when you can read as much as you want, and it's essentially for free. What Amazon is producing here is the ultimate cult of free. And then my final slide in the presentation was this: your margin is my opportunity, Jeff Bezos. And so I was trying to convince them that they needed to take it seriously. That was my whole goal, is like I wanted to impress upon them that this is really happening, this is a real threat, and they should take this seriously, and they should listen to me about some of my plans for dealing with this. And I was absolutely astonished when these executives, were on a Zoom call, they didn't look impressed at all. They didn't look surprised at all. They said, "You're right. What's your plan to do something about it?" And then one of the other executives said, "Print isn't next. Print is happening already. Amazon has already bought major print installations in the USA and the UK." When you hear people complaining about the low quality of Ingram Spark audiobooks, what they're actually talking about is they're talking about the KDP books that Amazon is now printing. Hopefully I charged up my other battery. I don't know if I did or not. I think I did, but we'll find out. Or else we'll just have to cut this short since the battery's going to die reasonably soon. But the point is that I suspect that what Amazon is working towards is going to not just be a Kindle Unlimited. It's not just going to be a Audible Unlimited. I believe it's going to be a paperback unlimited. And what I suspect, and I'm going out on a limb here. I have no actual evidence of this. I am simply drawing my conclusions from the available data and the past behavior of Amazon and applying a little logic to it. So what I suspect is that Amazon is going to announce a paperback unlimited program. It's going to cost $19.95 a month, and you're going to be able to select any 4 paperbacks you want. Now imagine what paperback unlimited would do to the average author. It's not going to affect us at all. Our books are not going to be on it. Bargain Bear asks, they already have print to order, don't they? That's exactly what they have. That's exactly what they've set up. And so what they're doing is they're cutting out these large print companies. It's Ingram in the States, there's other ones in Asia and Europe that handle most of the printing for the major publishers. Just so you understand, the mainstream publishers, the Tor Books and all, they don't print the books themselves. They print through these printing companies. Ingram prints something like 60 million books a year, and I believe the majority of them are mainstream publishers. Key accounts, as they call them. Rainline says, endless paperbacks made of tissue paper with ink that fades like a thermal receipt. Yeah, because Amazon is going to drive it to the lowest common denominator, the lowest, cheapest possible element. Ebooks they did a pretty good job with because ebooks are essentially free. But with the audio, they had to go with the other stuff, and oops, we should probably switch to something else here. Our camera is completely off here, so we'll go here just so we can keep things rolling for a little bit. I need an avatar or something that can just talk for me. But at least we can give you some. Or let's see if we can find you something a little more exciting to look at. Maybe a little Alt Hero Q. That might be good. There we go. So anyhow, you can podcast it. Yeah, we're podcasting it here. Live podcasting, no camera. ID Prism says, I told a friend a few years ago that print on demand was going to be it. Total disbelief. Yeah, I mean, it is going to be it for most people. Now, this is probably going to be good for Castalia Library. This is probably going to be really excellent for Castalia House. We already have our store set up. We already have. Now, the problem is if they manage to drive the big printers out of business, well, then we have to add a print house. And if we have to, we'll do that. We'll crowdfund it by selling books. You guys will support it. We already know the drill. We know how to do this. But I just wanted you to understand that I anticipate both Audible Unlimited and Paperback Unlimited being introduced, possibly as soon as this year. I think that this year is more likely to see the launch of Audible Unlimited, and I think that Paperback Unlimited will probably be another year or 3. But Amazon's already moved quicker than I anticipated, so we'll have to see. But what I do want you to understand is that we're well aware of this stuff. We are already well fortified against it for Castalia, and I would like to call upon your support to help everybody else when the time comes in a few months. So I will keep you posted. There's a lot of moving pieces. Some of them are still coming together. But this is not something, the important thing for you to understand and for you to share with others is we are not helpless. We do not just have to accept this. It's going to happen, but that doesn't have to be our only option. So on that note, if I don't speak to you before Christmas, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I will see you before then, because that's what I meant to announce. On Friday night, we are going to have a Booster Patrol listening party. It'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And I will have a special guest here to help me introduce the songs, which are Christmas songs produced by my bandmates John Bradley, Rachel, and Elizabeth. And it's going to be great. And again, I will not hesitate to remind you that as much as we celebrate the joy and the family of Christmas, do remember that we are celebrating the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I'm Vox Day. This is the Darkstream.